जी की फतेह.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome all. This is Chetandeep Singh from Bay Area, welcoming you all to another session of Coach Kurbani. Today, we're going to continue our theme of discussing the popular Shabads, and the Shabad that we are going to take under consideration today is the one I guess we have heard many times being sung at multiple gurdwaras all the time, and the Shabad goes, सतगुर की सेवा सफल है जेको करे चित लाए. Interestingly enough, when I started to look into this Shabad, I found that this Shabad, or at least the first line of this Shabad, there are two separate Shabads, one on page 552 and another one on page 644, both by Guru Amar Das Padsha. And both the Shabads have the first line in common. So we chose this Shabad today. So I'm going to read this Shabad first and then share my understanding of what I understand, and then we can go around the room sharing our own thoughts on this Shabad. So here it goes. Slok Mahalla Tija. Satgur ki seva safal hai, jeko kare chit lae, naam padarat paiye, achint vase man aaye, जन्म मरण दुख कटिए हौमै ममता जाए उत्तम पदवी पाइए सच्चे रहे समाए नानक पूरब जिनको लिखिया तिना सतगुर मिलिया आए. महला तीजा. नाम रत्ता सतगुरु है कलयुग बोहित होए गुरमुख होवे सो पार पवे जिना अंदर सच्चा सोए नाम संभाले नाम संग्रह नामे ही पत होए नानक सतगुर पाया करम प्राप्त होए. पौड़ी. आपे पारस आप तात है आप कीतोन कंचन आपे ठाकुर सेवक आपे आपे ही पाप खंडन आपे सब कट भोगवै स्वामी आपे ही सब अंजन आप विवेक आप सब बेता आपे गुरमुख पंजन जन नानक सलाह ना रजै तुद करते तू हर सुख दाता वडन. So it's a very fairly common and popular Shabad, and at least the literal meanings of the Shabad, they don't seem too convoluted, or rather seem straightforward. So let's dig deeper and see what it really means for us. श्लोक महला तीजा. सतगुर की सेवा सफल है जेको करे चित लाए नाम पदार्थ पाइए अचिंत वसे मन आए. The Guru Sahib is saying the task of Satgur ki seva is very rewarding if done with complete dedication. Achint refers to one Akal Purkh, and the result of Satgur ki seva is that one gets rewarded with Nam Padarat, and mind becomes completely worry-free. Again, the literal meanings are very obvious, but the few questions that we should be asking ourselves here at this point are, what is Satgur ki seva, number one, and what is Nam Padarat? And we have, of course, discussed these in great details in the past. So we all have some basic understanding of what these mean. But to lay it out open, I would touch on at least what Satgur ki seva could mean here. Satgur ki seva, or Satgur, could mean for us Guru Granth Sahib, and seva means dedicating oneself. So reading, understanding, and living our lives in the light of teachings of Guru Granth Sahib Ji could mean Satgur ki seva. It could also mean physical seva, be it at the gurdwaras or dedicating one's life to certain social, charitable, or higher causes. And Satgur ki seva could also mean to get in touch with the awareness or Satgur that is inside of each one of us and remain in that service of that awareness. Be mindful of one's own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and not let them run your life, but be in constant touch with your own nature, with your mood, with the equanimous nature of one's own real identity. So again, Gurbani being poetry have layers and layers of meaning. And one thing that I've realized being on this forum and otherwise as well, that we can come up with any mental model, a logical explanation of things, and we can mold or fit Gurbani into our own mental, logically consistent model and claim with 100% certainty that this is what Gurbani is saying. And I've seen that happening again and again. And we can claim that this is the meaning of this Shabad, but in my own experience, nothing could be further from the truth. The more certain we are in claiming the righteousness of our understanding, the farther, at least in my opinion, we are knowing the Nam Padarat. However, back to Satgur Ki Seva and the meaning that I laid out just now, the meaning that resonates with me the most is the one that, in my head, the meaning that applies to all human beings, irrespective of religion, caste, or nationality, or the color, because nature made us humans all the same. And the most fundamental truth of our own nature, reality, is the same. Yes, I mean, of course, the ways, the routes to get there are obviously different, and they're wrapped up in the cultures we come from. But the most inner meaning and knowing that arises from our own nature is the same. So for me, the understanding of the word Satgur is Gurbani and Sikhi agnostic. Let's go further down the Shabad and see what Guru Sahib is saying. Janam maran dukh katiye hau main mamta jaye. Again, in the rest of these lines, I think the words are pretty clear that Guru Sahib is sharing what will happen when we do Satgur ki seva. I wouldn't go too much detail in here, but again, the last line is interesting because we tend to have our antennas up the moment we read the word Purav. And the way I understand this concept, Nanak Purav Jinko Likhya Tena Satgur Milya Aaye, is that those who have done the hard work of being mindful, being aware of their inner mechanics, and remained equanimous, non-preferential, and non-attached to their minds, those are the ones who get to meet Satgur. Mahilla Tija. So the second passage, again, I would not go into line by line or word by word. What I'll share is Guru Sahib is saying in this passage that Satguru is the embodiment of Nam, and in this Maya of Sagar, Kaljug, this world, Nam is my support. And again, these are deep inner realizations that Guru Sahib is sharing and not some philosophical discourse that he's giving to us. And those who are in touch with the Guru inside them, those are the ones who live this life successfully. And Guru Sahib further makes this assertion that only by his nadar, karam, one truly gets in touch with the Satgur. Paudi, ape paras aap tat hai, aap kiton kanchan. At first glance, we could just read over this Paudi, and especially I have done this multiple times, like when we read our Nitnim Dibani or similar passages many times, right? And we have multiple passages in Gurbani that uses the word ape this, ape that, and all. And yes, we can just read over them and say, oh yes, everything is one, and move on. But when I read each word carefully, the passage actually opened up to me, and it's so carefully worded that for example, the first line, it says the paras, the philosopher's stone, is same as the metal that it turns into gold. So the stone, the metal, and the gold, and even the process of turning into gold, it's all the same. It's all the one. There is no difference. And he's not saying this as an esoteric idea. He has seen this realization that there is no difference in all three. And I think in this Shabad, he is inviting us to see that. So basically, he's saying that all three things are the same. And again, the next few lines, he goes over each of the words, Thakur, Sevak, and the process of Pap Khandan. He's saying everything is one. So all in all, I feel that in this body and sloks, the message or the overarching theme that we see in this passage is that the one manifests in all the forms that we see around us. That there is only one who is at play, and there is nothing else. And when I say there is nothing else, I mean it very literally. That you, me, people on this call, there is nothing behind each one of us. There is no Chetandeep or Dilpreet sitting behind us. We are just the manifestation of one in different forms. And the problem arises when we take it very personally and we attach an idea of I to it. So that the things are happening to me or I. And Guru Sahib is saying that the knower, the knowing, and the one observing the knowing is all one consciousness. And he is actually not only saying this from his own realization, he's inviting us to see this phenomena for ourselves. And that is the whole purpose of this exercise that we're doing here. And he's saying that we can actually see this for ourselves through Satgur. Satgur, the way I understand the keen awareness that we have inside us, the capacity that we need to develop in us, the seva that we need to do, that is the gateway through which we will be able to see this play being enacted. And once we see this play being enacted for ourselves, we don't have to take anyone's word for it. We have understood and realized the hukam and the play of hukam, and that is the job I think we have in front of us. So this is my understanding of this Shabad, and let me reach out to Dilpreet Virji. Do you want to share your understanding of this Shabad? Dilpreet Virji?
Anji, can you hear me?
Hanji, can hear. Please go ahead.
Yes. So I think you covered it very nicely, and I was also stuck on those things, similar like you, that Satgur ki seva. What does that mean? I think you covered it, saying that it can mean the Satgur inside us or the teachings of the Guru, or it can also mean that being truthful to yourself, that whatever we have learned, and if we are acting according to that and being truthful to ourselves, because then also it is saying that if you have understood something and then until unless you don't implement it, it is not of any use. Sach ure sabko upar sach achar. So again, Satgur ki seva is that, okay, whatever we talk or whatever we learn, we have to implement it and we have to act upon it. And then it says Nam Padarat Paiye Achint Vase Manai, and in the second body also it is touching the similar things. The first line of the second slok is Nam Rata Satguru hai. Again it is rhyming that, okay, one that Achint Vase Manai, that again if you compare that with the body, again body is saying that everywhere the same thing is prevailing in everything. So it is telling that everybody is equal and nobody is great, and the caste system, and it is touching those things of that time. But again, I think the core message which I am getting is that Satgur ki seva safal hai, that yes, the learning we have done or the understanding we have to be honest to ourselves, and we have to be honest to our inner conscious. And then the other point is, it says that Nanak Purab Jin ko likhya. Again, there are many meanings of this Purab, that okay, that what you have done in past life, or but in Gurbani, I think Ape Bijay, because it is saying that we are writing our future. So Nanak Purab Jin ko likhya is the other way to look at it, is that you can say that what we have done before this. So whatever we are achieving, somewhere we have done some effort. Even if I am getting something good, I have done something good or bad, I am only responsible at some way or the other, me or the system or the surroundings. So we are responsible. So Purab Likhya we can take is that whoever has put some effort or whoever has done some work, so they will get rewarded. And then Janam Marana Dukh Katiye, there are many things. So there are other supporting shabads here, that Antakal Jo Lakshmi Simre. Again, if we look at those shabad, it tells us that we are born and dead many times during the day or during a conversation or at any moment. So Gurbani is touching all our things which we are doing while living here. And then it says that once you get the understanding, and then you will be out of this Janam Maran, and then you will be in equilibrium, you will not be swinging between those two pendulums. And then in the next sabad also it says that Nanak Satgur Paya Karam Prapat Hoye. Again, in the previous slok it is saying Purab Likhya, now it is saying Karam Prapat Hoye. If you say Karam means that what we have done. So yes, it is, we have to understand and we have to put our effort, and then only the results will come. And then the body is again touching the same, the universality of it, that everybody is equality, the same message that it is pervading in us and in everybody. And I was listening to one other thing, I will end with that. It was saying that okay, we only consider our body as our thing, right? So if I am putting my left hand on a candle, it hurts me, I can feel it immediately. But if we see this whole Gurbani concept, then it says that okay, we all are connected, so we should be happy when anybody else is gaining the thing, and we will get hurt or we will get impacted if anything bad is happening to my neighbor or anybody in the community, because internally everything, it is made up of the same thing, and somehow we all are connected. So we all will get benefited or we all will get the pain. So if we have that type of feeling, then we will be working towards making this better for not only for us, for everybody, so that it is a collective gain and it is a collective pain and collective loss. I think that is the another message which is coming when it says that the same thing is pervading everywhere and inside everything. Thank you, Vijay.
Hanji, thank you, Dilpreet Virji, for putting it very clearly that whatever we learn from Gurbani, our focus should be to understand, be honest to ourselves, and implement that in our life.
Chetandeep, can I do in now, because I have to go on a duty, if you don't mind?
Sure, Virji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Ji. So this is a Shabad which is a part of the Shalok. We normally only read the first Shalok. There are two Shaloks like this, which are very similar. So this is the one we just discussed, I think is on page 552. So starts with a Shalok, Satigur ki seva saphal hai, je ko kare chit lai. So there are a few hidden things in there. Who is Satigur? And then the word ki has taken anchored off. Satgur is my mood, my internal consciousness. Who has to serve him? The service is to be done by man buddhi, or the outer consciousness. Chitlai means has to be done with concentration or attention. Like, har ki ustad karo santamit, savdhane kagar cheet. You have to really do it, and not for the sake of it. You have to do it because you achieve a fruit out of it. So it is, the whole purpose should be not to only do it just for show off, but we will achieve a fruit. What is the ultimate fruit? Naam padarth paiye. Because when you are serving the Satguru, you merge into him. From there, Satguru will obtain the Naam padarth. I think we have done a Shabad before that. The first thing is Satgur ki seva is man mere, Satgur ke paane chal, nejkar vase amrit pive, ta sukh lahe mahal. So it is basically the same thing that man has to do it. He has to accept whatever is happening as a pana, and without any sort of whinging, you have to accept it as it is. That's one of the best ways. But we have also done a Shabad about when we do Lakh Khushiyan Paatshaiyan. In that, the mention was about the Janam Padarth. Sabbe thok prapte, je ave kahat, Janam Padarth safal hai, je sacha shabad kat. And here, it is taking you even further. Satgur ki seva safal hai, je ko kare chitlaye, Naam Padarth paiye. Naam Padarth is taking you to Janam Padarth. So, Achinta vase man aaye, then you get carefree, and again the word reference is to man. So when they write, there is always one thing to be explored, that who has to do the seva and what happens to the stage of the man. So it's basically evolving from the lower stage to the higher stage. Janam Maran Dukh Katiya, this is when you are one in the Shabad, then you are not coming back as reincarnation. So here Janam Maran is referring to that it's sometime, we say we are born every time when we discuss, but that idea was given by Pupinder Singh, no one else. But when you come to the Jonis and the Garabs, then that is not the case. Here is the about the in the Ram Garab you are taking more Jonis, so everything will stop at that stage. Uttam Padvi Paiye. This Uttam Padvi is nothing but Puran Brahm's Padvi. Sache Rahe Samay. Only the Puran Brahm is merged into the ocean of Sachkhand. Nanak Purav Jinko Likhya. But these things don't happen on its own. You have to accept it. After acceptance, this game starts. Purab means before you start obtaining these, you have accepted it, and then you have only one way to go. You go through the path. Then a Satguru mile aaye, the Satguru is renounced. That's your own mood. But it doesn't happen. Why he wants to say that we have been giving stories that you went to some sant, he put a hand on your forehead and you started doing. He says nothing like that happens. You have to do it on your own, and it's already premeditated in your thoughts. Then only you go. Then the second one starts. Namrata Satguru hai. So this is to be understood as Janme Brahma, Brahma Meh Jan, Janme Par Brahma. That's the last stage. Nami Rata Satguru hai. The whole of Sachkhand is imbued with the name. What that name will be showered on Satgur then. Kal Yug Bohit Hoye. That is the only Jahaz. Bohit is like a Jahaz. But if we have to understand it slightly better, there is a pankti which will tell us that what is the difference between Satgur and Satguru or Guru. They say Gur Paudi, Vedi Guru. Gur, Gurbani is just a ladder which puts us into that ship, and then ship will drive us. So Gurbani comes first, Satgur ki seva comes first. Satgur ki seva is like a ladder which you need to get onto the ship. And then once you're in a ship, then your journey is further, starting with the Sachkhand. Then Gurmukh hove so par pave. Gurmukhs have always obtained this stage. Naam samale, how? Because they have remembered Harka Naam, Naam Sangre. Then they keep on adding Naam to the Naam, more Gyan and more Guns. Naam mein hi pat hoye. Naam is the only virtue which gives us the, you can say, the respect in Satgur ki dargah or Har ki dargah. Nanak Satgur paya karmi prapt hoye. Karm is here is bakshish. We have karms in two meanings. Karam coming from Urdu is like bakshish. Karam from Hindi coming is action. So this is Nanak Sadgur Paya. How? Because of the bakshish. So I'll just stop here then. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa. Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.
Hanji, thank you, Virji. I think you said it very well that the service that our man has to do is to accept the Pana. So thank you for that. Ravinder Virji, any thoughts? Ravinder Virji, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, I think all of you have really put it very well, isn't it? And I'm not sure that there is much that I can add to what has already been said. I just want to make a couple of observations. I know we talk about Janam Maran Dukh Katiye. I have a slightly different take on Janam Maran. There is a passage, there is a pankti which suggests that how admi ha ekdami. That means I'm a person of one breath. So to me, Janam Maran really means with every breath you're coming alive as it comes in, and every breath that goes out, you're flipping out. So I kind of read this Janam Maran as associated with your breathing rather than a lifetime. But again, what Gurjit Singh Virji said is very pertinent. What is the seva? Who does the seva? And what ultimately is the lesson to be learned, which is hukam. And hukam is the one that pervades everything. Because there is, this idea of sant ka marg taram ki paudi. So this is basically that 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 passage that we are traversing. But that's all I have to say, really. I think people have explained it very well. I couldn't have said it better. So thank you.
ठीक है वीर जी, thank you so much. गुरदीप अंकल, Montreal.
हाँ जी, वाहिगुरू का खालसा वाहिगुरू की फतेह जी.
फतेह जी.
And it's very well explained by all the previous callers. Only I can start here Sadir ki seva, so because Guru Amar Das ji, all the Gurvani of Guru Amar Das ji related to seva. At this Shabad, I don't know where it stands because Guru Amar Das has written a lot of Shabad before this Shabad, which means a seva could be of many types. Gur seva, Gur Bhakti hai. This is one point. But Manu ki seva, the service we do by our hands, like working in the kitchen and the gurdwaras, the halls, cleaning the halls, the utensils, cleaning the shoes and all that, that's also seva. If anybody is handicapped, you take him away, help him, that's a seva. Seva is a lot of kind, that's all human services, comes under the human services. But here, this job is mostly related to Gur Seva, Gur Bhakti hai. Gur Seva te Bhakt Kamai Tabe Manas Dehi Pai. The purpose of this life, according to this Shabad, is to only to enunciate his name. Gur Seva te Gur Bhakti. That's the purpose of the life. Tabe Manas Dehi Pai. That's why we have come into this human form. Is Dehi ko Simre Dev, so Dehi Paj Har Ki Sev. That means that even Devte, they are looking forward to get back into this human life so that they can progress further where they are standing right now. So in this Shabbat, everything is related to us to Naam Japana, basically I can say. Then we get all these attributes. Once we start doing the Naam Japana, then slowly you will get free of the recycle of death and birth. Of course, I say, this word come maybe 1,000 times in Granth Sahib. Is padi te jo nar chuke aaye jaye par mahinda. E teri avsar e teri baar keh kabir jeet ke haar. Kaho kabir bahu tab jeete. Har gun gavat janm batite. So I think it's very well explained by all my other callers, previous callers. I appreciate. And the purpose of to me here is Naam Padarth, Naam hai Bhai. At one place is Prem Padarth, Naam hai Bhai, Paiye Gur Prasad. And other place is Naam Padarth, Naam hai Bhai, Paiye Gur Vichar. Anyway, Naam Padarth, Naam hai Bhai, Paiye Gur Prasad. So Naam Padarth is Naam. The other thing which Chetan Deep said also, पड़ोसी के जो हुआ सो अपने घर भी जान. He is very right there. Maybe I will shortcut. We all are belonging to one. In under Jyot, only one Jyot. Basantar Sarv caste में जैसे Basantar Sagal दूध में किया. Khatkar jo tumhari madhu, Khatkar, I may be a little bit wrong here. In all this, the woods and all that, there is a fire inside. Same way we have same instinct from the God, from the Satguru, from the Guru within all of us, and we are all, and we should put efforts together. That's what Chetan Deep mentioned the first time. Okay, thank you very much. I think everything's very interesting.
Ji, thank you, Uncle. And thank you for reminding us that if we look at the history, Guru Amar Das Ji spent many years in the seva of Guru Angad Dev Ji. And yes, he has a lot of shabads that emphasize seva. And you're also right that the seva that we are talking about, it's not done in silo. It ties in with the seva that we go out and do in the world, and that it reflects in an outer form too. So thank you for that. Rana Virji.
Anji, Vaheguru Ji Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Fateh. Thank you, Chetan Deep Ji, a wonderful exposition, description, explanation what you gave, and also others have spoken very nicely. I can only make some observations just to seek clarification. Sometimes we talk about these things, and when somebody's listening, perhaps we can figure out whether there's circular things we are talking about. On one hand, in the discussion came up that one is in play everywhere. That's one is manifested in every aspect of human existence. Then the word, I think in the I think in you use the word nature. Now, question comes in, what nature is now? Nature, we are putting another thing in the equation, which causes confounding there, that what is nature now? Is something else we're bringing in, and I would like to have some clarity in my mind what we are talking about. Second area is, Gurjeet Virji said that we start the Jana Padarth, Nam Padarth, and that leads to Jana Padarth. So Janam is something, Jana Padarth is something larger than, is bigger than, higher than Nam Padarth. And I just would like anybody can help me understand Janam. We are trying to get out of the Janam. The whole issue here is that Mukti is the whole goal of the thing, that Janam is no longer there. But if Nam is lower than the Janam Padarth, so I get little confused in my mind that what is the distinction, and the word Prem Padarth came up just now. So if somebody can help me understand that one, that'd be great. And third thing, I think that I heard that man has to follow the Pana. That statement was made, I just heard that. So I sit back and say, the Gurbani says, Pana manan levi api Pana mananda hega. I just heard, I was reading yesterday, only those people can have that Pana who have been destined to whatever you call, who have been blessed to have acceptance of that. So again, I would like somebody to help if, as a matter of dialogue there. And final comment here is, Dalbeet Virji said that Purab word is that we have something done beforehand and we are paying for this thing, or these are manifestations of what we did as earlier, maybe a day before, a month before, or something like life. So the question comes, the child who's born, what did he do? A child who is disabled is born. What did he do a day before? So these type of questions are causes a little confounding in my mind, and I need some help. If somebody can help me understand these things, please.
ठीक है Ranavir ji, I think very valid questions. Let me go to the next person in line, and if they want to pick any question, or we can pick this question in the second round. So Kulwant Korpan ji, do you have any observations, or you want to take any question?
Hanji, Vijay, I think everybody explains very well. I agree that Guru Amar Das Sahib, the concept of seva was very important to them. This is also the cornerstone, not of Sikhi, but every, I think, spiritual practice. Seva is very important. And when you raise the question that what is satigur, I feel satigur as the divine energy, which is all pervasive, everywhere. He's the creator, and he, as you said, manifests in his creation. And what is seva means? Seva, I think, is doing service to his creation, honoring him in the name, in the love of, that one is seva. Seva is everything that we do, every day, every moment, what we do. When we do in his love, it's seva. Even taking care of my kids, my family, my neighbors, helping them, and also besides, seva, what we usually think about seva, physical service that we do to others. So everything we do is seva, that we do in his name. The purpose of life is, I think, to be at his service, in his love, doing seva. And the other thing, I think the question that Virji raised about the hukam that, if someone is born with disability. I think that's also the hukam manna bhi ek seva hegi hai. So that's also seva. To be in his service, whatever he do, we uh, just no, we don't raise any question, because he himself manifests in his creation. So we might not understand that even that is to just to obey his hukam is also a seva. That's I think my observation for this. The rest, everybody explained so well. Yeah.
Thank you, Ji. I think you put it very, very beautifully that everything that we do in our daily lives, that is the seva. And I think these are the things that I look forward to take away from this call, that it's the attitude behind what we do in our just the mundane activities that we do. That's the seva. So thank you so much for sharing that. Meena Benji, do you want to share your thoughts, or we have some open questions that Ranavirji raised? Meena Benji.
Can you hear me? Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
सबने इतना अच्छा explain किया आज. It's mesmerizing. I don't think I have too much to add except for one or two things. I think that सतगुरु की सेवा सब तो बड़ी सेवा उदी सिर्फ सलाह है नाम जपना. That is the biggest seva. Topmost seva is naam japna, because jadon assi naam japne a, our mind becomes cleaner. It cleans our mind, and from a clean mind we do clean actions, and we think about our thinking changes, and we think about doing going to Gurdwara and doing some seva or helping somebody. That comes later. So the biggest seva according to I think what is coming in my head is sab to vada hai naam japna, and then everything will follow.
ठीक है जी, thank you so much for that. Let me do a quick second run, and just to get the conversation going, Rana Virji asked a question directed to me that I used the word nature. So I used it in the context of our own nature. What is our real nature identity, mool? That's what I refer to, not nature outside. Okay. Ravinder Virji, I come to you if you have any thoughts to share.
Yeah, it seems like I was on mute. Well, a lot has been said, and a lot has been. So we've talked a lot about seva, and I am actually more aligned to Meena Panji's thinking, because if you look at how seva is used in Gurbani, I can't seem to discern anywhere where it is used for external seva. The stuff that we are talking about, physical seva. The seva that Gurbani is talking about is really one of consciousness, surtati seva. Because, as you said, Chetandeep, that the attitude of seva in everything that you do, you simply will not get it unless you have done this seva of the surt first. And why is that? Because there's a pankti that says, Mantan nirmal sada sukh antar vichon param chukaya. This is what happens when pure gur ki seva kini achint har man vasaya. This param is what you have to lose first. And what is the param? As far as I'm concerned, the param is that I am the karta, that I am the doer. And this is not an intellectual understanding, by the way. I mean, it's easy to understand that intellectually. You could tell me that, and I would nod my head and I'd say, yes, I get it. But I actually don't get it, because this has to be felt from the inner depths of your being. Okay? So this param, enu chukana, that is the purpose of this seva. So I would say that the seva in Gurbani is really, and as she said, Naam Japna or Surt di Seva, it is really Satgur di Seva, Satgur di Karni. That will give you the necessary attitude to, because you will have then dropped this illusion that you have of being the doer. And I'm again emphasizing not just intellectually, you have to feel it, and that is a process. But that's all I have to say.
Virji, I do agree with you and I do disagree with you a bit. I agree with the part when you said we have to lose the param, but I disagree with you when you say we have to lose the param first. I think in our conversation, this has come many times that both go hand in hand and they feed into each other. So if we just
Yes, I accept that. We are all creatures of habits, and we use words like merge and other stuff that doesn't really happen. So yes, it's not sequential. It is very iterative.
Thank you so much for reminding us that. Gurdeep Uncle, Montreal.
Yeah, I'm very much convinced with Ravinder Ji and Meena Bhanji. The reason is this: any other seva will take you into egoistic consciousness. तीर्थ वर्त अर्धान कर मन में तरे गमान को नानक ने फल जात तैं जो कुंचर इसना. They both are right. Gur seva, Gur Bhakti hai. Because unless you do the Gur Bhakti, thodi jehdi home consciousness home ch hai na, that cannot be eradicated. So Gur seva, Gur Bhakti hai. Gur seva, sabd vichar. When you more you read Gurbani, you will get into those lines. The reason for that is that you will not get into egoistic consciousness. Otherwise, Gurbani, one place says you much, how much even gold you give clothes, you give this and that. But once you get into ego, everything goes face down the drain. But with the Gurbani touch, then your heart will become so komal, it will become so pious. You will not be able to see anybody in any problem. Then you will become way into the higher consciousness. As one of other scholars said, the similar thing. Then you will be in love with everybody. You will not be able to discriminate on any ground. No religious ground, no culture background, no anywhere. I mean, either black or white or Muslim or Hindu. Because now your heart has become pure as Satguru. That's why the Satguru ki seva saphal hai, ye ko kare chit laye. If we start from that point, Ravinder Viji, Meena Bhanji, everybody, all of you are right. Very perfect Guru Seva Guru Bhakti. We have to start from Naam Simran. Thank you. This is what I can add on to it.
Thank you, Uncle Ji. Ranaveer Ji, you have your thoughts. You heard the conversation. A lot has been said.
Yes, and I think Ravinder Viji put it very nicely. And also Meena Bhanji said about that Naam Japna is the primary seva. Before we get,
you are breaking off, at least for me.
I'm sorry. Hello, can you hear me?
You were breaking off, at least for me. Yeah, I can hear you, but it was very choppy.
Okay, let me get closer to that. Can you hear me now?
Hanji, please go ahead, sir.
Okay, so here comes a question. The reason, the rationale, what Ravinder Viji gave, which was quite appealing to me, that any other seva we do, there is a home, ego, that plays out. And that's why if we first kill our home, and my understanding is Naam Japna will do that, but you cannot do Naam Japna. Gurbani says without, if the home is there, Naam Japna cannot be there. So the question comes, if the home is already there, which is stopping you for achieving or declaring your seva, which is external seva, is not valid because of home, that same home is there that wouldn't allow you to Naam Japna. So I would like Meena Bhanji or Ravinder Viji to explain to me what do they mean by Naam Japna when home is present there and you cannot do Naam Japna without getting rid of home. So whole focus is getting rid of home. How do you do that? And then what is Naam Japna? When they talk, we should be doing Naam Japna as a seva. Although I agree with them, there's a primary seva, but what do they mean by that, please?
Ravinder Virji, you want to address that question?
I mean, I can attempt an answer, at least so far as I'm concerned. I agree with you that Haume is present, but what you just said, Ranaveer, reminds me of that pankti, Haume dirag rog hai, daru bhi ismai. So within Haume itself is its own cure, and the trick is to find what that cure is within Haume. Now, I personally think, and this is from my experience, that daru, or that first step, the daru is that this Haume has to take the first step in trying to understand itself. So it has to turn to a self-examination. I think that, at least in my experience, has been the first step. And that comes also with engagement with Gurbani. So it's a process. It is a process that leads to some realization. So the point is, Haume is what causes you to act in other domains. It is Haume that is the daru in itself that is going to actually turn you, pivot you towards Nam also. So it is really self-referential, but it is what is going to do the trick.
Thank you, Ji. Ranaveer Ji, does that address your question?
Yes, yeah, well, it is something to think about, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you very much.
ठीक है जी. Thank you. Kulwant Kaur Ji, you have any thoughts?
Hanji, Virji, I think I agree with everyone, and also I agree with you too that both, the physical seva and Nam Japna, both seva and remembrance. Nam Japna is to remember him, and physical seva, like we say, everything we do is his seva. So in his name, in his love, when we remember him, then we can do everything in his name and in his love. So these all both go hand in hand. That's what I think. That's all I can say, Hanji.
Ji, thank you. Meena Penji, you have any take on the questions asked so far, or any other thoughts?
Hanji, can you hear me?
Yes, please
Hello?
go ahead.
Okay. होमे दीर्घ रोग है दारू भी इसमाई ना रविंद्र विजय ने बड़ा अच्छा एक्सप्लेन किया है और उन्होंने दा क्वेश्चन सीगा कि while home is also there and we are trying to do naam jap, actually in the beginning home helps you to do naam jap. जिस तरह भगत तन्ना दा सीगा when he heard that भगत नामदेव he found God, आठ राम को छिपरो होयो लाखीना, ते उन्होंने ने क्या एक ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਬਦ नहीं याद आ रहा, ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਜਾਟੜੋ ਉੱਠ ਭਗਤੀ ਲਾਗਾ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਉਹ ਤੇ ਛੀਂਬਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਾਤ ਦਾ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਜੱਟ ਹਾਂ। at that time jat was considered to be a very high caste, so he's like ਉਹ ਛੀਂਬੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਤੇ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ, ਤੇ I am a higher caste. This is how he started. So home in the beginning gives you a push to do something. So in the beginning you won't lose home. It is actually ascending you to the next level, and then eventually you start losing it. Naam jap jap ke eventually you feel that, oh, this is not worth keeping, so let it go. Because ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਪਰਦੇ ਖੁੱਲਦੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਲੋੜ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਰੱਖਣ ਦੀ। So I think that's how ਹੋਮੇ ਦੀਰਘ ਰੋਗ ਹੈ दारू भी इसमा है कि दारू भी ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਏ।
ठीक है जी, Meena Penji, thank you so much. And I think with that, it's a wrap on today's session. I know we have 5 minutes left, but I would like to summarize and wrap up today's call. So I think we definitely learned that the real seva is the Naam Japna, as everybody said, and both internal and external go hand in hand, inner and outer. It's a process from inner to outer and not just the inner. And I personally really like what Kulwant Benji said, that everything, if we have the attitude of whatever we do, everything that we do is his seva, I think that enlighten us all. Week, enjoy the week. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.